Good afternoon, listeners. We are here again. Thank you for joining and tuning in to the Real on Real Estate radio show. We are live in the studios of WMBM 1490. Of course, I am Realtor K. Brunson, licensed realtor with K1 Realty Group. And during the show, you can contact us by dialing, for Miami listeners, 305-653-9626. Broward listeners, dial 954-525-1490. And also our out-of-town listeners, dial 1-855-599-WMBM. And of course, if you want to reach me after the show, you can contact me at 954-552-5919 or on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter under Realtor K. Brunson. And of course, we have to tell you that our broker is licensed broker Dr. Karen Jones Lewis with K1 Realty Group. You can reach Dr. Karen at 305-323-1566 and on social media at K1 Realty Group. All right, Samantha, we're here again.
Happy afternoon, happy Saturday, everyone. This is Samantha Joseph with K1 Realty Group, and you can reach me at 305-783-1591.
Great. And Samantha, we had a great show last time. We gave so many tips to our new homeowners.
We had an information-packed show.
Yes, it was a lot. That was a great show. And of course, if you missed the show and you want to get information about the highlights, you can visit us on K1 Realty Group Facebook page. And of course, guys, now we do have a guest in the studio today. You guys will hear from him a little later. But today we're going to go ahead and jump into the market trends. All right, so we're just going to make sure that we can give you guys some updates to let you know that if you're listing your property or looking to list your property, sales are still going on here. In the tri-state area, and I consider that to be like Miami, Tampa, Orlando. For instance, in Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and Miami, there was over 5,800 sales just last month. So still sales are going on. Also in Tampa, the Petersburg area, and Clearwater, there was a total of 4,833 sales. Orlando, Kissimmee, and Sanford, 3,100 sales. So of course those areas, we're still number one. We rank number one in the sales. So real estate is really high.
Yes, and South Florida is a place to be for a lot of people.
Correct. South Florida is still hot, and of course now we take those numbers and we look at it on a county-wide range. For Broward, there was over 2,000 sales. For Miami, there was a total of 1,747 sales, and West Palm Beach came in with 2,010 sales. So Broward is the number one for the county with the total sales. And of course, now one thing that we also emphasize is the list price and the market price. That's important. Most time we put the property on the market, or all the time we put the property on the market, we want to make sure that we actually get the list price. And just for instance, in Broward, 95.3% of the houses that were listed on the market actually sold for the list price.
Okay.
And then in Miami,
so
that's a good thing. That means realtors are actually doing their job, looking at the comps and not putting properties that are overpriced and they sit on the market for days. And Miami had about 95%, and then Palm Beach 94.3%. So great job, realtors, with making sure you're getting those properties on the market at a good price. And being that we're actually speaking of realtors, now if you're looking to become a realtor, or if you're already a licensed realtor, I should say, we're actually looking for full-time, professional, self-motivated, serious, licensed individual to grow the K1 Realty Group if you're looking to grow your business. Candidates should be self-driven, customer service focused, and also emphasize the zeal for learning, because we're all about learning and educating here at K1. If this sounds like you, give us a call. Of course, you can contact us at 954-552-5919. And of course, we don't want to leave out anyone that maybe want to become an actual realtor. If you're not licensed and you want to get information about becoming a realtor, you can contact us also. Same number, 954-552-5919. Okay, Samantha, what's going on in the community?
All right, so that's always important. We have to know what's going on in the community. And so we have some new developments happening in Miami's Edgewater community. So a new mixed-use building for affordable housing is coming, and it's actually going to be for teachers.
Oh,
yeah.
Shout out to the teachers.
Yeah. So the opportunity zone will be for school teachers, and it will be called Teachers Village Project, and it will be located at 3350 Biscayne Boulevard. So the preliminary plans for the Teachers Village have 250 workforce housing apartments, 45 condos, and at workforce level prices. So that's important. Workforce level prices is what they're kind of focusing on. There will also be office and retail space, and it will be a 34-story building. So that's pretty high up.
That's really good though, for the teachers. I'm glad they're actually recognizing and, you know, putting it in an area where it's easier for the teachers. Awesome.
Yeah, and the cool part about it is that we'll include educational facilities for teachers and the community.
Nice.
Yeah, and so although the Teachers Village will be, it's called the Teachers Village, it's not restricted to only teachers, but it will be heavily marketed to teachers in particular. And there are actually teachers villages like this in New Jersey already, so now we have one coming down to South Florida.
South Florida, we always are in the loop.
Yep. And now a little bit further down in South Florida in Homestead, the Lennar Corp is planning to build an almost 800 homes on vacant farmland. So that's more South Florida Homestead area. So the development is called the Keys Gate, and will have 304 villas, 394 townhomes, and 117 single-family homes. And there will be a clubhouse and a pool. And so the City Planning Zoning Board have already approved the site plans, which will include the homes, and it will be in an internal network and street. So you have to like kind of enter the community.
Okay.
So Lennar has focused on developments in the Miami-Dade area and the South Miami-Dade area because the values there are a little bit lower, and it helps to create more affordable prices for home buyers. So we visited a Lennar development just 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yes, in Davie. That was an awesome site. We actually got a chance to see it before they broke the ground, but they actually haven't started actually building the properties. But we did see one.
So we saw
two.
We saw two. See, we're jumbling it up.
Yeah,
but we saw
two.
one that was not developed yet. They didn't have their display yet, but we got to talk to them, see what they're going to provide, and we got to see one where there's just a few homes left. I believe it's about 4 or 5 left.
They sold out. They really have sold out that particular community.
Yeah. Right. So I thought it was a beautiful area. So if you're interested in taking a look at those, feel free to give us a call. 305-783-1591 is my phone number. And let me give you all an update on a story I told you about last week about the Magic City development. So on our last show, we told you about the federal college scam indictment going on right now. Robert Zangrillo, the CEO of Dragon Global, is one of the main investment companies in the Magic City Innovation Project in Little Haiti, has stepped away from his position amid dealing with all these legal charges and has been replaced by another representative of the company, according to the Miami Herald. So Dragon Global has a 35% investment in Magic City Innovation, and the whole project is $35 billion. So that's quite a large investment. Zangrillo has been charged with paying $50,000 to the University of Southern California Athletics to recruit his daughter into a crew team, and another $200,000 to pay to help take classes to boost her GPA. So yeah, he's one among dozens of people who have been caught up in this whole thing. So that's just an update for you on what's going on with that.
Well, I like the fact, or I'm sure it was a good decision as far as for stepping down, but it's good to know that they are going to continue with, the development, and that wasn't, altered because of the what is it called? The
college scam.
The scam.
Yeah.
Or the scandal.
Yeah.
Great. All right, guys. So it is time for the real deal question of the day. And we are going to ask you guys to call in. If you're wanting to call in reference to the question, we'll give the numbers out shortly. But the question is, what is equity as it relates to real estate? And of course, we have a gift card for $100. It's a Publix gift card, and it's sponsored by Fairway Mortgage Corporation. So Samantha, tell our listeners how they can call in to answer the question.
All right, so Miami listeners, you can call in at 305-653-9626. Broward listeners, you can dial in at 954-525-1490. And for our out-of-town listeners, you can call 1-855-599-WMBM.
Great, great, great. So guys, we'll give you a chance to call in, but you know what? We're gonna jump right on into introducing our guest today. He's been here listening to us, and we thank him for coming today. Guest, would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. My name is Brian Kutu. I'm with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation of the Brian Kutu team here, licensed mortgage banker in the state of Florida.
Thank
you
for
for
coming.
having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, we love Brian. Brian has a lot of information.
Oh, yeah.
And we are wanting to pick his brain today. So let's get started. Let's see if we have anyone on the line to answer the questions before we go into them. Not. We do? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start the questions. So we want to talk about the first thing is student loans, Brian. So many people have student loans and they want to purchase properties, and just from, working with clients, I know that sometimes student loans could be that one thing that can actually kill the deal.
Yes.
Can you explain to the listeners how they can actually still purchase even when they have high student debt?
Yeah, so, when it comes to student loans, it can certainly be a deal killer, absolutely. But having a really good understanding of the mortgage guidelines will help us determine what type of program that you need to get yourself prepared for in order to qualify.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to talk about the 3 specific programs that really most buyers are going to purchase with in order to qualify for a mortgage. And if they have student loan debt, this is what this is the guideline that we have to follow as a mortgage banker.
Okay.
So, with FHA loans, no matter what your balance is, no matter if your student loans are deferred or if you're on an income-based repayment schedule, we have to use 1% of your balance. So let's just take, a little bit of math real quick if we have time. And let's just say you accumulated $30,000 in student loan debt. Well, we have to use 1%. That's what, $300 a month that we have to hit your debt to income ratio?
Correct.
Now, I've found over my career that a lot of people are accumulating student loan debt upward of $80, $90, $100, $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say you have $100,000 in student loan debt. That's $1,000 that you're going to be paying, or that we're going to be using for your debt to income ratio for qualification. With Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the guideline's a little bit different. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, those are conventional guidelines
Mm-hmm.
that the government-sponsored entities have created for us, the mortgage lenders. So with Freddie Mac, no matter what, we have to use 0.5% of your balance. So let's just use the same calculation, $100,000,
Mm-hmm.
0.5%, that's $500 a month.
Yeah.
So that's what we have to use for the debt to income ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I really think that Fannie Mae got this right. Fannie Mae is the other conventional GSE, government-sponsored entity, that creates mortgage guidelines. What they have done is given us 3 options. The number 1 option is we can use 1% of the balance. Well, a lot of times we're not going to use that. Or we can use the payment that's reported on the credit report, right? So a lot of people have income-based repayment plans set up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have $100,000 in student loan debt, but you're only paying $55 a month because that's what your income allows you to do based off your household size, we can use the $55 a month. And that allows people to actually be able to purchase and qualify for a home.
Great.
Right?
Yeah.
Lastly, we can also use what's called the prevailing rate to determine a payment. So when someone has a lot of student loan debt, and let's just say that student loan debt's deferred, we can use a specific calculation and use the student loan interest rate from the federal government and calculate what we think that their IBR, income-based repayment plan, will be. And what's really neat about that is it's a different way, an outside-the-box way of thinking to find a lower payment for someone's student loans to help someone qualify for a home. So that's how we calculate it.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to qualification, if you have a large minimum monthly payment for your student loan and you're on a fixed income, you're probably not going to qualify for a mortgage.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big thing when you talk about a $55 payment to a $500 payment. That leaves that $55 leaves a lot of room for you to be able to afford a mortgage. Great.
Absolutely.
Great information, but real quick, we're gonna jump into, our callers right
Yes.
quick. We have two callers
callers.
waiting on the phone, so callers, who do I have on the line? Daniel Stone, thank you for calling in. So, do you need me to read the question? What is equity as it relates to real estate? Do you have that? Okay, what is it, Daniel? Okay.
So Brian, what do you think about that answer?
No, I think that's a great answer. Something to think about though with equity is we really take what you owe on the property versus what the property's worth, right? So that difference is your equity. So Daniel, you were spot on with your answer.
All right,
Sounds
Daniel,
like we have
all
a
right.
winner,
We do
winner.
have a winner on the line. We had two callers, but it looks like Daniel actually got the call correct. We'll go ahead, okay, so, Daniel, thank you again for calling in. It looks like you got the answer right. You are the winner of that $100 public gift card. Make sure that you stay on the line, you give your information to our DJ, okay? All right, thank you again for calling in. All right, so we're gonna continue on with student loans. For the most part, Brian gave us so much information when it comes into student loans and, how it actually can impact, your mortgage. One of the things that I did wanna ask also, for the most part, how is it that with student loans, you talked about, having the income-driven payment. What about when the payment is like under a forbearance or a deferred payment?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So no matter what, when it comes to an FHA loan, again, we've got to use 1% of the balance,
Okay,
even if it's deferred. With conventional loans, Freddie Mac, we have to use 0.5%, and then Fannie Mae, we use one of those three calculations. So we can't use zero as the payment, no matter what anymore.
mm-hmm.
Unless you're a veteran and you're purchasing with a VA loan. So you really do have to have your ducks in a row when it comes to student loans in order to get qualified to purchase.
Okay, well, for anyone that has, chose to further their education, we all have. I know I still have some student loan debt.
Yeah.
But, just don't shy away from the possibility of becoming a homeowner, because as Brian just indicated to you, there are tools that are put in place to actually still allow you to be able to be a homeowner even when you have that high student loan debt. Okay, so since we're, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, so that's for people, students who might want to get a home, but how about people who already have a mortgage and they might want to refinance? So what does it take to refinance in a home that already has a mortgage?
Yeah, so it's a very similar process to purchasing a home, but what we want to look at is we want to make sure that the person at least has some equity in their home, and that the refinance is going to make sense for them, because there still are closing costs involved. So we really need to take a deep dive with that specific person to see if it makes sense.
Okay.
So do they want to take cash out? Is it going to save them money on their payment? Those are the things that the types of beginning conversations that we have when we start the process and talking about a refinance.
And so, what if they wanted to refinance specifically to do renovations? Does that change how things are looked at?
Yeah, so there's two different types of refinances. We have what's called a rate and term refinance. That's just lowering your rate or removing your mortgage insurance. But then if you want to maybe do some upgrades or something else people refinance for, or taking out cash against their property to pay off debt, we do what's called a cash out refinance. So the rate and term or a cash out refinance.
Okay.
Great, so I'm like Samantha, I hear people all the time saying they wanna refinance in order to do renovations on the property. I know sometimes depending, right now, the mortgage rates are awesome, but, you know, there were a time where the mortgage rates were a little bit higher. And some people take out the home loan with the idea that I'll refinance later. You know, how does that actually work and, as far as for, you know, if they wanted to actually do that for refinancing, so.
To lower their rate
Yeah.
payment. So yeah, but we're just gonna, get them a new mortgage on their property, to lower the rates and the term of the property. So basically what we'll do is, we're gonna have an upfront conversation, we're gonna determine what the current value of their home is. All right, so we'll usually get a copy of their mortgage statement to see what their balance is, and then we'll determine that equity position. And then if there is enough equity where they can refinance and roll their closing costs in,
Okay.
then it might be a good idea to refinance. Something that we look at that's really important is how much are you gonna save per month? How much is it gonna cost you in closing costs to refinance? And let's do, you know, a calculation of how long it's gonna take for you to make your money back on those costs. So let's just say, someone's gonna save $100 a month, and it's gonna cost $5,000. Well, what's 100 divided by 5,000? That's 50. So are they gonna keep this mortgage or stay in this property for more than 50 months? If they are, then it's probably a good idea to refinance, because they're gonna reap the rewards of lowering the rate, after that 50th month. Does that make sense?
So what if they wanna refinance, but they're looking to sell the property? How long after they refinance can they actually sell the property?
You know, after you refinance, you know, there's, in the mortgages that I write, you know, qualified mortgages, conventional FHA, VA loans. There's no real time frame that is required, that you hold a mortgage. You know, you're signing that you're gonna occupy the property if you're purchasing or refinancing as a primary residence for at least 12 months. But if something comes up in your life and, you know, you decide that you need to sell your property, you could potentially sell it immediately.
Okay.
But will that make sense for them to do so? Because, and the reason I say that is because if they're gonna refinance and it's gonna cost somebody, you know, $5,000, and they're just gonna waste that equity that could be going to their pocket.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Correct.
So yeah, to answer your question, there's no specific time frame, but we really wanna take a holistic approach to make sure that it makes financial sense for the buyer.
Correct.
Excuse me, for the homeowner.
But that's absolutely, because you have so many different scenarios where people are, you know, hey, I'm looking to refinance, I'm gonna, I've also heard people talk about a home equity loan, or either, you know, a line of credit, home equity line of credit. So if that's something that, a buyer homeowner is actually looking to do, being like the homeowner has many perks, you know, and over time they get that money back. What is the difference in actually doing the refinancing or the home equity line of credit or the home equity loan?
Yeah, so when we're refinancing, we're restructuring that mortgage, that initial mortgage that they have. A home equity line of credit or a home equity loan, those are, a lot of the times, if you already have an existing mortgage, those are second mortgages. So you're taking a second lien against the property. The difference between a home equity line of credit and a home equity loan is the home equity line of credits are kind of built like credit cards. So you're gonna take a line of credit that may not be drawn yet. You're not taking that debt out, but you're taking out the opportunity to borrow against your property. So let's just say you get I'm gonna use the phrase HELOC for home equity line of credit for short. If you get a HELOC for $50,000 on your property, and then on day one, you didn't draw any of that $50,000 out, you're not paying interest on that $50,000, right? But if you get a home equity loan, that's more of a fixed product. Could be variable, but you're actually taking that $50,000 out and you're gonna pay that back over a term.
Okay, all right, so I mean, man, it's about that time again, and we have so much information that we've actually gotten from Brian, but one more thing that I do wanna talk about, because we've talked about student loans and we talked about refinancing. One of the, loan products that, Brian said, we talked about Fannie Mae and, you know, FHA and all those things, but jumbo loans, I hear, you know, jumbo loans are actually coming back and they're making a big turn right now. So can you explain to our listeners about the jumbo loan?
Yeah, so a jumbo loan is a loan that, a loan amount that's higher than the conventional loan limit. So right now, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's loan limit is $484,350. Very specific, right?
Very.
I don't know where they came up with that number, but
Not
that's
a
what we
penny
have to.
over.
So actually, a penny over would be considered a jumbo loan.
Okay.
All right,
wow.
so jumbo loans are utilized for higher price purchases.
Okay, so good. So in other words, we're saying our luxury client, if you're looking to purchase that $1.3 million home and you're wanting to do the jumbo loan, for instance, what is a down payment like on a jumbo loan?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and there are so many different jumbo investors. Specifically, we have over 15 jumbo investors at our company that we work with. So every investor is going to have a different down payment requirement. On a $1.3 million on a $1.3 million property, someone's probably going to have to bring at least 20% of that 1.3 million to purchase
Okay.
it.
And I'm sure 1.3 million, you can have that 20%
Yeah.
down payment, right?
However, let's just say they're buying a $600,000 property.
Mhm.
We might have a 5% down jumbo
Oh,
product.
and that's still.
So there's a
still
wide
jumbo
range of
loan.
products,
Yes,
yeah.
Nice. So that just lets you know that, whenever, whatever you're in the market for, there is a loan that's, built to actually help you become a homeowner. And of course, we are at the end of the show, and of course, we want to give you information on how you can contact us. Samantha, can you give your contact information?
Yes, my contact information is Samantha Joseph. My phone number is 305-783-1591, and my email is samanthaj@k1realtygroup.com.
Okay, Brian, can you give yours?
Yeah, again, my name is Brian Kutu. My phone number is 954-356-2953, and just give me a call. I'll be glad to help.
Great. Again, thank you guys for joining us today. This is Realtor Kay Brunson, K1 Realty Group. Phone number 954-552-5919. All right, thank you again for joining us.
Happy Saturday,
All right,
everyone.
thank you. Bye-bye.